Hi, 8th grade students. This is Mr. Alford, and this video is helping with homework number 5, Expressions and Equations Review, Part 2. Part 1 was really homework assignment number 4. So problem 1, basically a scientific notation problem. When you're adding or subtracting with numbers in scientific notation, we need to talk about how to do that a little bit. When you do that, you can't just add these things together. You actually need to change both of your numbers into standard notation. So 2.3 times 10 to the power 3. This 3 tells me that I need to do 3 decimal hops, and 3 is positive, so I want a big number. So this decimal needs to go to the right. 1, 2, 3 times. So decimal 0, 0. All right, now this number, 2.3 times 10 to the power 2. So 2.3, my exponent is 2, so 2 hops to the right. Put down my decimal place, put a 0. Okay, I want to add these, but before I do, I need to line up my decimal places. So 2300 is my first number. And my second number is 230, but again, remember, line up the decimal places. So 0, 3, 2. Notice the difference that this makes. Up here, we would have thought we maybe would have had to add this 2 and this 2 together, but no, this 2 is in the thousands place, and this 2 is in the hundreds place. So now they're lined up correctly. All right, bring down the decimal place. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. Bring down the 2, 2,530, but it wants us to put our number in scientific notation. So let's move the decimal place until we have a number between 1 and 10. 1 hop, that's 253. That's not between 1 and 10. 2 hops, 25.3. That's not between 1 and 10. 3 hops, 2.53. That is between 1 and 10. So 2.53 times 10 to the power of, well, I did 3 hops. So I had a positive 3 or a negative 3. Well, this original number was a big number, so this is going to be positive 3. So that was just an example of doing a scientific notation problem. That'll help you for problem 1. All right, problem 2. I have 2 things to say about this. 1, I made a help video for how to solve equations. That video is in the description of homework assignment number 4. It's called homework assignment number 4, help video 3. The second thing I need to say about, so again, that video is all about how you solve equations. Another thing I need to say is talking about what no solution or infinitely many solutions means. And we've done that before. Let's see, yeah, no solution. So for no solution, that's when your equation comes down to having an impossible equation. -3 equals -4 is one example. This is nonsense. -3 does not equal -4. So this is a no solution kind of equation. 5 equals 500. That's nonsense. So that's a no solution equation. Infinitely many solutions is when both sides are identical. 3 equals 3. Yep. 5 equals 5. Yep. 5x equals 5x. Both sides are identical. Yes. 0 equals 0. Yep. All these examples right here, both sides are identical, so we say that these equations represent infinitely many solutions. Problem 3, just read it carefully. Makes Mr. Alford sad when you don't read the problem. Problem 4, it's basically asking what are the equation and the y-intercept of the proportion. So again, it's asking you for 2 things. What's the equation? What's the y-intercept? For example, in choice A, your equation it gives you is y equals x. The y-intercept it gives you is the coordinates 0, 3. Problem 5. This is a system of equation problem, so I'm going to give you an example of solving systems of equations. So this system of equations, it's nice that how this example is set up because we can try and cancel, we can try and get either the x's to cancel each other out or the y's to cancel each other out. So for example, if we get the x's to cancel each other out, we're just going to have an equation with just y's, and we know how to solve an equation with just one kind of variable. So if you remember, it's called systems of equation by elimination. We're eliminating one of the variables. You could eliminate the x's if you want, or you can eliminate the y's if you want. It's your choice. I'm going to eliminate the x's. So I need to make this 2 and this 2 be opposites of each other. So this 2 times what? Well, let me say this. What's the opposite of this 2? Negative 2. So I need this 2 to become negative 2. So what times 2 is going to give me negative 2? Well, that's negative 1. So I need to multiply the entire side of this equation and the entire side of this equation, both by negative 1. So let's see. Let's distribute negative 1 times 2x and then negative 1 times 4y. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times 4y is negative 4y. Nine times negative 1 is negative 9. There. So I took my first equation here, I changed it to this equation now. So now these two can add together. When I do, these x's are going to eliminate, making my work simpler. So again, our whole goal was to change that first equation so that now our both equations, we can cancel out some variables and we have a simpler equation to work with. Look, 2x plus negative 2x, those cancel each other out. So I'm not going to write anything here. 9y plus negative 4y is 5y. And 19 minus 9 is 10. Cool. See, this is a very simple equation. 5y equals 10. We just have one variable to deal with. Undo multiplying by 5 by dividing by 5. So I do that on both sides of the equation because both sides of the equation need to mean the same thing. So y equals 10 divided by 5 is 2. So that's the first part of the solution for this problem. Now I need to find the x value that goes with this y value. So I need to take this y value and put it into either this first original equation or this first original equation. Doesn't matter which. I'm just going to pick the first original equation. So 2x plus 4y equals 9. Let me write that down here. 2x plus 4y equals 9. Where's this 2 going to go? Well, this says that y can be replaced with 2. So this 2 is going where the y is. So this is 2x plus, well, this was 4 times y, so now it's 4 times 2 equals 9. All right, let's solve this equation. Well, 4 times 2 is 8, so 2x plus 8 equals 9. All right. We want to get the numbers on one side and the variables on the other, so that means we need to get this 8 to be over on this side. So okay. Opposite of adding 8 is subtracting 8. So subtract 8, subtract 8. So 9 minus 8 is 1. Bring down the equal sign, 2x equals 1. Okay, I'm going to write that over here. 2x equals 1. Just copied this equation and put it over here. How do I undo multiplying by 2? Divide by 2. Divide by 2, divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 cancels each other out. So x equals 1/2. So my solution is my x value and my y value together. So my x value is 1/2. and my y value is 2. Close the parentheses there. So this is my solution. X 1/2, y is 2. So that's an example of solving a system of equations problem. Problem 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 9 I want to talk about real quick. 9, it's in the form of y equals mx plus b. We know that m is the slope and b is the y-intercept. That was just basically a reminder for you. Okay, I'm about to help you with 11a and 11b and 13. Let's see. This part of the lesson is brought to you by Rafiki from Lion King. Yeah. Math Circle of Life. I just had to. It's really good. And I, be honest, I stole this from another teacher. So let's talk about Math Circle of Life. Basically, we can represent the same thing in different ways. That's what this circle means. You can take an equation and you can say the same thing in a table, or you can say the same thing in a graph, or you can say the same thing in a word description. Any of these things can mean the same thing. There are multiple ways to represent the same thing. There are multiple different ways to represent the same thing in math. So, let's see. How's this going to help you with, say, problem 13? Well, first of all, read this problem carefully. Let's see. Erica is claiming things, and everything she claims may not be true or correct. She may be making errors. So, let's see. One cost of this kind of detergent, super clean, is represented by this equation, where we know that 0.6 is the slope. It also tells us in this problem that Sudsy's detergent is shown in the table below. So in this table, you can also find the slope. So you know the change in y from 3 to 6, and the change in x from 5 to 10. So that should help you start thinking about what to do with problem 13. All right, that's all the help for this video. Good luck, guys.